morning children. So, in our today's module we will be studying about the molecules of compounds. Fine. So, first of all we should know that what exactly do we mean by the term molecule. Now, see students, atoms of, we know what is atom, we have already discussed this thing in our previous module. So, atoms of different elements join together in a definite proportion, remember this thing, in a definite proportion to form the molecules of compounds. Now, you all can see here these are some of the molecules that are given here. Okay, so we will be discussing them. For example, the first one you all can see we are having water. Now, talking about water bache, so how many combining elements are there? Two. First one is hydrogen, then we are having oxygen. All right. Now, see, the atomic mass for hydrogen is 1, and here are 2 atoms that are associated with this hydrogen. So, 1 multiplied by 2 will be giving us 2. Similarly, oxygen, the atomic mass of oxygen is 16. So, 2 is to 16, 2 ones are 2 and 2 eights are 16. Your answer would be 1 is to 8. This is what the ratio by mass. Similarly, we would be able to solve the ammonia also in the same manner. How many combining elements are there? 2. One is nitrogen, another one is hydrogen. So, students, nitrogen, the atomic mass is 14 and hydrogen is 1. But as you can see, hydrogen, how many atoms are associated? 3. So, 3 ones are 3. So, the ratio by mass would be 14 is to 3. I hope it is clear. Moving on to the next one now. Similarly, you can do the carbon dioxide as well. Fine. The combining elements are carbon and oxygen, and the ratio is 3 is to 8. Next students, we are having hydrogen sulfide. You all can see here hydrogen sulfide is hydrogen. Fine. The combining element is hydrogen and sulfur. Fine. So, we can easily do it. Atomic mass for hydrogen is 2 here, because atomic mass of hydrogen is 1, but 2 atoms are associated. So, 2 ones are 2, and the atomic mass for sulfur is 32. So, 2 ones are 2 and 2 16s are 32. So, the answer would be 1 is to 16. Similarly, students, we can easily solve the H2SO4 also. Okay, the combining elements are hydrogen, sulfur and oxygen. Fine. So, here it would be 2 is to 32 is to 64. Simply cut it down. Fine. Why 2? Because hydrogen is 1, but 2 atoms are associated. So, 2 ones are 2. Sulfur is 32. Fine. And oxygen is 16, but as we are having 4 atoms associated with this oxygen, so 16 into 4. Simply cut it down and your answer would be 1 is to 16 is to 32. Similarly, students, we can easily solve the glucose as well, that is C6H12O6. The combining elements are carbon, hydrogen and oxygen in this much ratio, that is 6 is to 1 is to 8. Similarly, we can solve the baking powder also. The formula is NaHCO3 and the combining elements are sodium, hydrogen, carbon and oxygen, and the ratio would be 23 is to 1 is to 12 is to 48. Now, students, common salt, we are having sodium and chlorine. Fine. So, sodium we all know 23 and the atomic mass for chlorine is 35.5. But in my first module I have already explained you the atomic masses of all the elements. Fine. First 20 and at least 30 elements I have explained you. So, you need to learn these atomic masses in a very proper way. Only then you would be able to solve out these things. Okay. Similarly, bache, let's just do quickly this ethanol. So, you all can see we are having carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Okay. So, it is very simple. Carbon is, atomic mass of carbon is 12, but as you can see there are 2 atoms associated with this carbon, so 12 2s are 24. Then you can see 6 hydrogen are there. Okay, so 1 into 6 we get 6. Similarly, oxygen is left. What will be the atomic mass for oxygen? It is 16. Okay, simply if we cut it down, so we get this thing, that is 12 is to 3 is to 8. So, similarly, we can solve the methanol and ethyne as well. This is what the molecules of compounds were. Fine. I hope this thing is clear to each one of you. You need to do each and everything in your notebook, bache. Now, let us just quickly move on to the ions concept, which is very, very important. See students, First of all, we should know that what exactly do we mean by the ions. Fine. So when atoms or group of atoms or molecules, they lose or gain electrons. Remember this thing, either they can lose the electrons or they can gain the electrons. So they become charged. Fine, students. Now see what happens. These charged species are known as ions. Once the species get charged, it is said to be ions. Now students, here comes an important part. Atoms in solution generally exist in the form of ions. Okay, and these can be negatively charged or positively charged. So thus they can be categorized into two groups, like you all can see here. The first one we are having is cation, and next one we are having is anion. What are cations, bache? The positively charged ions, they are known as cations. Remember this thing, if you are doing if you are losing the electrons, it means you are giving something, and if you are giving, what charge you would be acquiring? Positive charge. Fine. So remember this thing, when any element loses electron, it acquires positive charge. Okay, and the positively charged ions, they are said to be cations. You all can see here, metals mainly form cations, bache. Remember this thing, and examples you all can see: sodium ion, potassium ion, calcium, aluminium. These are all cations. Similarly, we are having anions also. The opposite of cations will become the anions. For example, you can see here the negatively charged ions, they are said to be anions. Fine. And how they are formed, beta? They are formed when elements gain electrons. So if you are gaining electrons, means you are taking something, you are doing the negative thing. So which charge would be acquired? Negative charged. Fine. Negative charge is acquired. When this negative charge would be acquired? When elements will gain electron. So when element is gaining the electron, remember this thing, when there would be gaining of electron, which charge is acquired? Negative. Okay, and the second thing is when it is losing the electron, at that time which charge is acquiring? Positive. Fine. And remember one thing, if negative charge is acquired, fine, if negative charge is acquired, then the species would be anion. Fine. And if positive charge, then it would be cation. I hope this concept is clear. Now there are a lot of examples of the anion as well, like chlorine, bromine, oxygen, nitrogen. Now see here. Similarly, we have this bromide, and now usually non-metals forms the anion. Remember this thing, chloride, bromide, iodide. Okay, these are all your anions. Okay, chloride, bromide, iodide. Now non-metals forms the anion. Like you can see here in the first case, metals forms the cations, and usually non-metals forms the anions. Now students, we should know that what is polyatomic ion then. We had discussed what is anion, what is cation. So what is polyatomic ion now? See here. A group of atoms carrying charge and act as a single entity is known as polyatomic ion. Remember this thing, I am talking about group of atom. Here poly means many. Fine. Now see here, it carries a fixed charge. Remember this thing, it carries a fixed charge. For example, you can see nitrate ion is there, NO3 negative, carbonate ion is there, CO3 negative, and SO4 negative is sulfate ion. Now students, can you tell me that how the sodium ion is formed? I will be telling you. See here, look very carefully. Although this you will be studying in your will be studying in next chapter, but still I'll be telling you. So we are having the electronic configuration of different elements. Fine. We are having 4 shell represented by KLMN. Okay, in which 2, 8, 18, 32 electrons can be accommodated. Remember this thing, according to your class, always remember this thing, if any element would be having an octet configuration, fine, that is 8 electrons in its outermost shell, that element is said to be the stable. This means we can say that it is having a stable configuration. For example, let's just quickly solve the sodium one. You all know the sodium electronic configuration is, let's just first discuss about its atomic number. What is its atomic number? 11. Fine students. So what would be its electronic configuration? In first shell 2, then 8 and then 1. This is what the electronic configuration is, KLMN shell. Fine. Now see here. You all can see what I told you, in outermost shell there should be an octet at least. Fine. Because we need to have a stable configuration. Every element needs to have a stable configuration, right students? So here also it needs to have a stable configuration. But this one electron is there in the outermost shell. It needs to be removed. Fine. So what happens? Na loses this electron. It basically gives this electron. Fine. Now see. So it is giving, it means it is doing a positive thing. So losing electron will giving a positive charge. So sodium will be acquiring which charge, bachche? Positive charge. Why only plus 1 is only 1? Why not is Na2 positive? Because only one electron is losing. I hope I am getting, you are all getting my point. Only one electron is losing by the, loosed by the sodium. Fine. That is why Na positive. Okay. Similarly, we can do Mg positive also. See, magnesium is 12. Okay, atomic number is 12. So 2, 8 and 2. So you all can see here, in outermost shell we are having how many electrons? 2. But what I told you, it needs to have an octet configuration if it needs a stable configuration. Fine. If it needs a noble gas configuration, stable. Fine. So how would it be acquiring the stable configuration? By removing the 2 electrons from the outermost shell. Okay students, so it will be lose 2 electron. It will be losing the 2 electrons from its outermost shell in order to have the stable configuration. So here it becomes Mg2 positive. Why positive? Because it is losing the electron. Fine. It is doing a positive thing. It is losing, giving someone. Fine. Similarly, they can make their formula like this: Na positive and Cl negative. Fine. This you are going to study in your higher classes. I hope this thing is clear to each one of you students. So now see here. There is another thing that I am going to discuss with you all, and that is valency. So this is how your valency is. Now sodium is Na. Sodium is 2, 8 and 1. So its valency becomes 1. Fine. See here. So we can say that the combining power or capacity of an element is called the valency, or simply you can just learn this thing, that the valency of an ion is equal to the charged on the ion. Fine. So sodium is having what charge sodium is having? Positive, 1 positive. Fine. So 1 valency would be there. Similarly, what about magnesium? It is 2. Now see here. We are having lot of symbol here, okay, with valency 1, 2 and 3. So you all can see here, these are the ions of metallic elements with their symbols having valency 1. Similarly, ions of non-metallic elements with these symbols and having valency 1. Similarly, the polyatomic ions with valency 1 and symbol, these are the symbols. So you all can see here, when valency is 1 in these cases, for example, sodium Na positive, potassium K positive, silver Ag positive and Cu positive. Fine. We are having in copper and iron, we can have these elements show more than one valency. Fine. That is why these have shown like this, Cu2 positive or Cu positive. Similarly students, when hydrogen, it can be H positive, hydride is H negative, chloride is Cl negative, bromide is Br negative, iodide is I negative. Similarly, ammonium is NH4 positive, hydroxide is OH negative, nitrate is NO3 negative, hydrogen carbonate is HCO3 negative. Similarly, you can be easily do all these things as well, bache. Magnesium is Mg2 positive, calcium is Ca2 positive. Similarly, zinc, carbonate, sulfide, sulfate. Remember these formulas. And we have phosphate PO4 3 negative. Fine. So I hope the concept is clear to each one of you. Thank you students.